My name is Maestro Lightford, and I am a producer and composer. The beginning parts of starting production on this song, Resilient, started with a call from my good friend Shree, or I call her Coco Bang Bang. That's another story for another time. But she gave me a call. She said she had this tune that she had been working on and still was trying to finish up writing it and all that stuff. And she sent it to me and wanted to know what I thought about it and even if I would produce it for her. Once I heard the tune, I was like, okay, this has something in it. My process is more of just kind of starting to develop little ideas of how, okay, this is how I think the song should go. Or I may send her references of, okay, we should go in this direction, but I typically try to at least flesh out an idea that I have in my head so they can hear where I'm going with the project. I honestly don't remember if I started on a direction and then deviated from that. I just remember once we started on this, like, oh, this is it, you know, it was that journey that we went on and we stuck with it. Along the way, I feel that you make alterations of, it was like, okay, this is the direction that we're going, but let's alter this or let's add this or, you know, do whatever, you know, the artist or the production coordinators or whoever, you know, puts their 2 cents in. This is the session. This is what Shree sent me.
But I've been changing my story lately, rewriting my ending. I got to the final pages and found the beginning.
So yeah, that's what they sent me. I typically try to keep the original. If somebody sends me like what the track was, I typically try to keep that in there because most of the time, like, I'll try to do some EQing on it and try to build my idea around that. This is how it originally started off. I was doing this is kind of a cool thing. I wanted some kind of intro that was like special. You know, like, I guess everybody wants a special and this is one of a kind, whatever. So I did this little thing where in my phone, I would just like sing little random lyric-y, whatever, you know, all that kind of stuff. And so I threw it in here, threw a whole bunch of effects on it, and it came up with kind of this thing. Let me play it for you. And that kind of became the intro of it all, you know. And look, I'm expose myself since I exposed Darius and all them in the earlier track stuff. I'm gonna show you what it really sounded like. So then I was like, man, that to me that sounds really, really cool. And that kind of jump started a lot of things for me as far as like, hey, where can we go with it? I kept going back between this riff of starting the song. This is how it originally started off. It had like this pad, because just like the original, I thought that was pretty cool. Just with a pad, and then I remember. Then he came in with his verse. You know, the vocal things that I did at the beginning. I don't even know if that made it to the final version. As far as the intro, I think we just even stripped it down even more and just, because that's enough, you know. The thing happens when you have a project and you're working on it so long. I feel like you start getting new ideas. You're like, well, what happens if we change the format of a lot of stuff? And that's what happened with this tune. It's like we had a whole different format. The vibe of it was totally different. Another big thing that was totally different was the chorus. The chorus originally sounded like this. It was big. But for me, instead of just the first chorus hitting like that and, you know, it sounds great. It's big. It's like in your face. It gets people moving. I just thought, I was like, well, why don't we make it come down? That way people can really feel what you're saying at the beginning of this. So we had this big thing. Kind of just flying. I just felt that was just better than having the big chorus. And if you go see or go listen to the track, you know that's in there, and not the big first chorus, which I love. I love. I like things just to build, you know. So it's like you have this first verse. It's the first time somebody's listening to it, so it's like don't try to put too much stuff. Just like the first lyrics, I'm changing my story, so I wanted musically something to change as well. And really, the verse is kind of dark, and then it goes kind of brighter. You started having this hopeful feel, so it's like I wanted to have that musically happen, and so just added the drums, built this drums, building this like this hopefulness, and then you kind of explode into the chorus, and that's what makes you go to. It's like, oh man, I'm feeling this sense of freedom, you know. And then you kind of come back down because of the verse too. But, you know, you come back up to being hopeful. You know, everything doesn't get, like you can see some of these dark areas are just sometimes where I was just like, I'm a muted. I don't want it. Even though when I originally did it, I had all this stuff in it. I'm like, well, let me take some stuff out, put some stuff in, you know, and that way everything has room. Yeah, the choir, I feel like that's what makes it kind of the uplifting part of it all. It's like anytime you hear like a choir, especially like gospel choir, you're like, oh yeah, I feel triumphant. You know, like I'm ready to do it. I can do anything, and they came in killing on the bridge.
Don't give up, don't give in.
Yeah.
Turn another chapter. Happy ever after.
With me, that I'll go and I'll sing all the parts and then send it out to them, just so like they know when we come to the studio that's like, hey, this is what we're singing, this is what we're gonna go over, and when we're in those sessions, sometimes things get added because it's like you're in that moment and you're hearing real singers sing it back to you. Then you're like, okay, hey, let's see if we can do this kind of thing. I had a buddy of mine named Izzy come sing some background stuff on it, on this particular tune, because I wanted to be with Darius.
I'm a champion, resilient, heart of a champion, resilient.
Yeah, and that's just the background stuff. That's not his lead stuff or anything like that, and that's already full. We actually had this part done, and the amazing artist on here, Darius, said, "Hey, bro, you know, I have some more vocals. I'm just thinking that he's just gonna send me just one track or something." I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, just throw some, you know, ad-libs or whatever you want to do in there. Bro sends me, that's 15 right there. Stop counting, 15 new tracks. I love him to death. To him, it worked out. This was what it was before he had his vocal stuff in here. Very clean, very good. But as he sent me this thing, and I feel like it really did make the song. It's kind of like this gumbo-ish feel, which works great at this breakdown part. I'll play it with it. It's like total chaos, you know? I mean, that's exactly what it is, organized chaos to me. I added all these like weird effects to make it really feel like it's just this thing. And so when we get out of this bridge, you know, I'll play a little bridge, and then we get to that part, then you have this unsettling kind of vocalist thing, which sets up the chorus again of this, I'm resilient, that you're set on a firm foundation at that point. Yeah. Good job, Darius. I love drums. I guess because I like syncopation, I love rhythm and all that kind of stuff. But just, gosh, I don't mind giving away everything. all this is like drum stuff, like up here. Producers know about this. It's like you're trying to find that sound, you're trying to find that sample, you're trying to find like the feel and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, why don't you go back to the original or the first, in my opinion, the first ever instrument, which is the vocal, which is the voice. Again, I'll take my phone, and it's just like, usually what I'll do is I'll put my headphones on and I'll have this going in my ears, and I'm like, and so that way I'll remember the actual part that I want. And so what I've done, and anybody can take this, you know, what I've actually done a lot of times was, so I'll have, here, I'll make it a little bigger so you can see it. So this is that thing that I was talking about, like the vocal, what I did. And so like I just recorded myself. So I'm just recording myself just doing that, because that's the feeling that I want. And so like I know that, okay, that takes up a lot of real estate, a lot of room in the track, you know, all that stuff going by itself. So I'll usually throw some like EQs on it to just kind of thin it out. See, now I have room for everything else that I want to do. There was this like this cajon groove that I like. I love Sound Toys. They have some really great plugins. I love these. You started with this. And so like I started just changing it with the key of the song, you know, or the chord change of the song. And you add that with, I like this little Martin snare. Then you start really banging your head now, because it's like that backbeat. There's this artist called Nico and Vince. I love like their feel. I forgot where they're from. I don't think they're from South Africa, but they have that kind of feel. And I wanted to add that to this kind of song, so I added some, you know. So you add all that together. Just a little subtle thing, you know? And of course you gotta add your kick in. Woo! The 808 stuff, look. And it's cool because it's not your all the way hip hop 808, because it would have been it would have been hitting a lot harder, a lot fatter. But I did that because it's actually, there's a synth bass part on here as well that I have. I just wanted to boom, boom, boom. Just ever so softly like knock with it. You know, when you add different elements, it kind of takes it out, but that could be something kind of like R&B, hip hop-ish kind of. Has a vibe on it. This mix alone took it out of, to me, the whole kind of happy, like the feel good kind of thing. It has like attitude down. Mm-hmm. But that's all within the whole tune. It's in there, you know. I guess that's a part of being heart of a champion. You gotta have like attitude, you gotta go after it. I feel like there was one time that we were actually going for like, man, what if we just did a whole remix? It was just a
At my worst and how bad it felt. And I remember when I was cracking under pressure. I didn't understand how to love myself. I'm a champion, resilient.
I like that because it gives you different ideas. It's like, okay, when we do this live, it may be a situation where it's like, okay, well, you can't have all that kind of stuff, and you may just do like like Good Morning America or something like that. It may be like stripped down or whatever, you know. It's just like you have this different version. Like, man, this is a cool version of just the guitar and the vocals, and it's like, I feel like sometimes that can speak more to the person than all the stuff that we put in here. Shout out to Darcy for the mix on this song, the final mix. If you haven't heard the song, go out and check it out.
I'm a champion. I'm a champion, resilient.
Ooh, wait a minute. I mean, I'm here now. I might as well mess around. I'm a champion. Whoa.
I'm a champion, resilient.
Remix coming soon. Okay. All right. Oh man, look, that's a vibe for it right now. Y'all let me know which version you want. Y'all want the one we're putting out, because that's the one you're gonna get. But you know what? Bonus feature, we may do a remix of it. If y'all like the song so much, we can do a remix of it with that kind of vibe. Maybe get some other features on it. I mean, you know, who wanna get on the track? The rep with him.
I'm a champion, resilient. I'm a champion, resilient.
Hey,
I'm a champion,
resilient. If you're having a bad day out there, just
I'm a champion.
Just say it to yourself.
I'm a champion.
Say it to yourself. Hey,
I'm a champion.
hey, 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 man, this mug is all right. All right, I'm gonna have y'all here all day. I'm Maestro. I'm a producer and composer. Actually, I'm changing it. I'm Maestro. I just create music. But guess what?
I'm a champion. I'm a champion.
Hey!